You never expect betrayal to come with a smile. But it did, in my case. It came wrapped in warmth, in the scent of pine and firewood, in the laugh of a man who seemed to have mastered both the wilderness and my wife's heart. It started when we signed up for a weekend survival course. A spontaneous idea. My wife, Erica, always had a love for nature, the kind that went beyond casual hikes and into the realm of spiritual escape. I thought a getaway like this might bring us closer again. Maybe reignite the flickering light between us. She seemed excited at first. I remember her eyes lighting up as she read the course description, 3 days unplugged, learning wilderness survival from expert guide Wyatt Granger. I didn't know it then, but the name alone stirred something in her. The course was up north, tucked away in the mountains 2 hours from our home. I drove us there in silence, trying not to notice how Erica kept checking her reflection in the visor mirror. Or how her voice shifted when we met Wyatt, a tall, broad-shouldered man with sun-scarred skin, a voice like gravel and honey, and eyes that lingered a little too long. The first night was innocuous enough. We set up camp, roasted sausages over an open fire, and listened to Wyatt talk about tracking, fire starting, and edible plants. He was charismatic, I'll give him that. The kind of man who could make tying a knot sound like poetry. I didn't miss the way she leaned in when he spoke. Or how her laugh became lighter, fuller, the way it used to be with me. By the second day, things started to shift. During a lesson on building shelter, Wyatt took Erica's hands to guide her through the technique. His touch lingered just a second too long. I caught the look they shared, a silent language I wasn't fluent in. "Jake, can you grab more kindling?" she asked, barely glancing my way. I went, because what else do you do when your wife starts turning invisible in your own story? That night, I lay in our tent staring at the nylon ceiling while she claimed she was going to the campfire to ask Wyatt something about tomorrow's hike. She came back over an hour later, the smell of wood smoke clinging to her, her cheeks flushed in the cold. She wouldn't look at me. I didn't confront her. Not then. I needed to be sure. But my gut already knew. That primal, unrelenting knowing that lives in the marrow of betrayed men. The next morning, we hiked in groups. Erica stayed close to Wyatt, and I trailed behind, pretending to be interested in mosses and old animal tracks. During lunch, I excused myself and doubled back on the trail to the spot where I'd seen her glance nervously earlier. Curiosity clawed at me. And that's when I saw it. Tucked between two boulders, half hidden by pine limbs, was a makeshift lean-to shelter, clearly recently used. Inside, 2 sleeping bags, zipped together. I didn't go in. I didn't need to. That night, I told her I had a headache. That I'd be staying in the tent. I lay still, breathing shallow, while she went for a walk again. She didn't come back until well after midnight. The ride back from the mountains was the quietest 3 hours of my life. Erica sat beside me, her body present, but her spirit clearly still somewhere among the pine needles and embers, tucked in a sleeping bag beside another man. She fiddled with her phone the whole way. I didn't say a word. I didn't need to. I was no longer in the dark, just waiting for the sun to rise on what came next. The first week back was a masterclass in pretend. She washed clothes that hadn't even been worn. Cooked dinners she barely touched. Kissed me with lips that now felt foreign. I watched it all in silence, memorizing the details like a detective at a crime scene. Then, Friday night came. I waited until after dinner. She was clearing plates, her back turned, when I finally said it. "How long have you been sleeping with him?" She froze, plate midair, then slowly turned. Her mouth parted, but no words came. She didn't deny it. Didn't even try. Her silence was confession enough. "Jake," she whispered. "It wasn't supposed to happen. It was just, it felt different. Like something I hadn't felt in years." Different? Or just new? I asked. She sat down at the table across from me. I could see the tears starting to gather. Maybe real. Maybe guilt. Maybe just the fear of what she was about to lose. I didn't go looking for it. I swear. But being up there, unplugged, away from everything, it made me realize how numb I'd been. Wyatt, he made me feel seen again. I wanted to scream, to punch something. But what I did was worse. I nodded. "I'm moving out," I said. Her eyes widened. "Wait, what?" "Jake, no, can we at least talk about this? We have years together. A life. We did. But you buried that under the trees with him." She tried to explain that it wasn't love, just an impulse. That she didn't mean to hurt me. That she'd go to therapy. That we could rebuild. But trust isn't a switch you flip back on. It's a bridge, and she burned it. I spent the next few days sleeping on the couch, calling around for a place of my own. I didn't tell friends right away. Not even my sister, who always suspected Erica was too restless to stay grounded for long. Then came the message from Wyatt. Yeah, he reached out. Not to apologize. Not to offer some scrap of remorse. He asked me if I thought there was a way for all of us to coexist. As if I could sit at a dinner table someday, toasting the guy who took my wife and called it a spiritual awakening. I didn't respond. Instead, I packed the last of my things, left her the key, and drove off with no destination in mind. Just away. Toward quiet. It's been 6 months now. I found a modest place near a lake. Took up kayaking. Started running again. The loneliness is real, but so is the clarity. Erica sent a letter a while back. Said she and Wyatt didn't work out. That he wasn't who she thought he was. That maybe I was her true north after all. But you can't navigate back to someone you chose to leave behind in the wild. I haven't responded. Because while she found herself in a forest, I found my peace in letting her go.